Hey everyone, thanks so much for coming back to my channel. Today's video is going to be another update on my second ever Project Pan. If you are new to my channel, hi, my name is Sarah. I like to record beauty content. I've gotten into project panning, makeup tutorials, and beauty box unboxings. So if that sounds like content that you are interested in, I would love for you to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Today's video is an exciting one, so there are 3 rollouts. So if you are interested to see how the project is going, then stick around and keep on watching. We are starting off with the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 Concealer and Foundation in the shade Medium Beige. This rolled in September, and originally I marked a goal line. I got so close to the goal line that I went ahead and changed it to a finish goal. Here's what it was looking like at the beginning of November after 46 uses total from September and October. I could tell I was really close to the end. It is a thick formula, so it does stick to the sides of the bottle, but then I only had to use it 5 more times, and this one is now an empty. So here's what it's looking like now, and this is a goal met. I'm so excited to have another foundation empty from this project. This is now my 3rd one for the year. I really did like this formula, and I think once I get down to like 1 or 2 foundations, I would consider repurchasing this one. Next is my Tarte Ultra Creamy Shape Tape that rolled in October to replace the L'Oreal one that was super old. In October, I didn't use it at all because I was still dealing with the eczema. In November, I used it 2 times. So not a ton, but at least more than 0. And here's what it's looking like now. I didn't mark any lines on this one, but hopefully you can see that that's kind of where the product is sitting at the bottom of the tube. That's my best guess as to where this concealer is. The goal was to finish this one, but I don't see that happening by the end of the year. But either way, however much usage I get on it, this one is also going to be decluttered because it's an older one in my collection. Next up is my Shades by Shan bronzer in the shade Walnut. This rolled in back in September with a hit pan goal. So this one in the beginning of November had 46 total uses on it, and it was definitely showing usage and some disturbance and getting a little bit lower in the pan if you look at the edges. Then in the month of November, I used it 23 times for a total of 69 uses. And here's what this bronzer is looking like now at the beginning of December. It is maybe showing a little bit more usage. I'm having to use a really light hand as we're getting later in the year, and my tan has faded and I'm not spending nearly as much time outdoors. I've only got 1 more month to try to hit pan. Next is my Nabla Skin Glazing Glass Skin Finish Glow Powder. I use this as a glowy blush or a blush topper. This rolled in November for 40 uses. And I mostly just wanted to see how much of the embossing and the imprint I could wear away. And I was able to use this 26 times on top of some other blushes, and it got some really good use. So after those 26 uses, here's what it's looking like now. I've definitely gotten some work done on wearing away the imprint, and I've got 14 more uses to go before I meet this goal. This will definitely be a goal met by the finale. Next is my BH Cosmetics Desert Oasis Palette Highlighter in the shade Hideaway. So that is the shade in the bottom right corner, right next to the one I worked on previously. This one rolled in October for a hit pan goal, and I used it 17 times in October and got a pretty good dip forming after those uses. And then just 10 times in November, mostly because of the shattered middle highlighter shade. I didn't really feel like pulling this out and making even more of a mess. Here's what it's looking like now after those 10 uses. In this clip, it looks like there's less usage and like I had to press it back. I don't know if I just didn't get like a good angle on this clip or what, but this is after using it 27 total times. This is a much deeper highlighter, so I am mixing it with Serenity, but I don't know if this one's going to be a pan by the finale. We'll see. Next is my BH Cosmetics Midnight City palette. This was my chosen palette with a random shade, and I rolled in that fourth shade, that bright blue in the top right corner. This just rolled in for a 5-use goal, and in October I used it twice, and I was mixing it in with my bronzer that was in my project pan to help neutralize some of the oranginess and tone it down a little bit as we got more into like the cooler months and I wasn't outside as much in the sun and started to get a little bit more fair. So then in November I used it 3 more times and here's what it's looking like now. So I met the goal of the 5 uses. This doesn't show very much use at all, but that's okay. It got a little bit of attention and it definitely helped me use my bronzer a little bit better. So that is a goal met. Next is my Sugar Drizzle Man I Love Frogs palette. This was a random palette and I chose the shade Fly Swatter, which is that first teal shade in the middle row. So this rolled in for a 5-use goal in October. I only used it once, which was surprising, but that's okay. And then in November, I used it 0 times. So still at 1 use, so it looks exactly the same. I feel pretty confident that I can get 4 uses in the month of December so that this is a goal met by the finale. So this one for sure will be done by the finale. Next is my Real Her Shadow Stick in the shade Chocolate. So this rolled in November for a 20-use goal, and this one was a really nice one to use in the month of November as a nice neutral brown. Used it in my crease each time. This got 13 uses in the month of November, so here's what it's looking like now. I apparently forgot to draw how tall this eyeshadow stick was in my notebook, but here's a comparison to the lid, and then here's how far down it is when it's rolled all the way down in the packaging. It was brand new when it rolled in, so it's gotten a fair bit of use. It's come down a little bit. So I've got 7 more uses, and I feel like this one will be a goal met by the finale. Next up is my Thrive Cosmetics lip liner in the shade Gislin. This originally rolled into the project in May and I met the goal in July. Then I decided to keep it around. So here's what it was looking like at the beginning of November. So this had a total of 74 uses at this point. That little tiny orange line is October. Then in the month of November, I used it 5 more times and got a little bit more progress. This lip liner is down to the tiniest of all the nubs, and this one has got to be finished by the finale. It's so close. And now the last product in this project is my Maybelline Superstay Matte Ink liquid lipstick in the shade Founder. So this rolled in September for a 30-use goal. It got 3 uses in September and then 17 uses in October. Obviously it's got opaque packaging so you can't see progress, but in November, let's see, I used it 15 more times, so I surpassed my 30-use goal and I got to 35 uses. I love this shade for this time of year. It is absolutely perfect, and this is a goal met. And now for the roll-ins. So the first one is my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in the shade 2W2 Rattan. I marked the starting point and I want to use this one 25 times since I only have the month of December to work on this. I am going to be mixing it with the blue pigment and lightening it just a bit. Next up, I've chosen my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, this OG palette. This one needs some love. I've definitely used it, but it doesn't look like it. So I need to randomize a shade from here. So let's spin the wheel and see what number I get. Shade number 8. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Semi-sweet. Okay, another neutral medium brown. All right, that'll go with the shadow stick. This will be a shade that I can use literally every single day that I put my makeup on. I'm gonna get a little ambitious and I'm gonna put a hit pan goal on this one. Why not? It's the end of the year. Let's try it out. Let's see if I can hit a pan in this shade. And now it's time to roll in a new lipstick. So let's see what the wheel gives me. Okay, Flower Beauty Perfect Pout lipstick in the shade Jasmine. This one is really pretty and it's another great like berry cranberry color for this time of year, and it's sheer but definitely can be built up and it's very, very creamy. I have marked a goal line in my notebook and I want to try to use up about a quarter, maybe a third of this lipstick. So that seems to be the common goal. Now this one actually rolled in, I went ahead and put it in at the very end of November. So I tracked 4 uses on this and that's what I've got going into December. So this is kind of a 2-for-1 roll in and a mini update all at the same time. We'll see if I can get down to that goal line by the finale. Okay, so that is it for this update. I'm so excited about these 3 rollouts. I feel like I got a lot of good usage. Let me know what your predictions are for the next update. Well, that is gonna be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, I would love it if you would click the like button and subscribe to my channel so that way you'll see all the future updates for my Project Pan. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.